Hey guys, how you doing? Alright, I have Defango on the line right now. Figure wait
Hello.
figure wait a couple minutes for a couple people to get on, posted on Twitter, all that good stuff. And let's see. Ooh, pretty. Live dashboard. Alright. First, as you see, QAnon Cyborg. I wonder who that is. Thomas.
That's Thomas.
That is Thomas, ain't it, man? Ah, crap. Today
What's up,
is.
you fat shit? What's up, you fat shit bird?
Man, alright. You totally owned his ass today, man. Like, literally. I'm gonna pull up the video real quick on YouTube,
I'll go for it.
and I think I'm
Show's
actually
hilarious.
gonna play it real quick. Let's see. It's under the Merlin Defango account, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome to Meza. Ah,
It has suddenly exploded the
skip ad.
threats to them, then
Alright, I'm gonna try to find the place where you were and you started talking to him.
Hmm?
I'm gonna try to find the place where you were and where you started talking to the officer. Because
Oh, it's
that's.
like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you had your phone right there.
can't go down there.
So, have you been getting all these emails?
I have, and I've read them all. I've watched videos.
So
I got
he's
another video of
actually
you this
read all the
morning.
emails.
Every single
There's no
one.
direct threat that you've
And
made.
that's
That
crazy.
they
Because
claim, oh, they're making
back
threats.
in December, around,
There's
I
no
believe it was
direct
December
threat
21st,
that they have made.
when I
They say
started
you're
running
crazy.
into
I don't know
Stokes,
what your relationship
like,
or how
he
you
started
came to know
CCing him in
Thomas
every
and
single
that
thing,
whole
trying to get me to
group of
stop
people
talking to you
They're
and
awful.
Lestat.
with the other officer from California.
There's another officer
There's
from
an
Oh,
California.
officer
yeah.
Rivera
He was trying to
that's
do
Oh,
that
I've
to
heard
me
of
too.
this
Like, I
guy. I
was
don't.
getting, like,
I
some of those
haven't had a
emails, like,
chance.
lots of the
BCC
emails
from
that
you.
I've talked to.
So he was
There's nothing
probably
around here. There's
BCCing,
nothing
like, somebody else on those
the
things,
police
too.
department's going to do
Yeah.
anything
According
to.
to the
I
Stokes, he
told
was
that to
like, you know what, I've
Thomas,
been
and
dying to meet you. And he was like, you seem to be a pretty
there's no
normal guy
objection.
that's just
There's no
dealing with,
There's
you
a
know,
girl named Mindy that lives
some
around
shit.
here.
apparently they don't
And
like
I
you.
was like,
They
yeah,
hate me.
have you read
They
the emails? And he was
They
like,
think
I
that
read
you
every single one of them.
did
They're
something
in
business
a
wise. I don't know if you were in
specific
business with
folder in
him
my
at the
I
time.
was
inbox.
in business with him
And
at one
the
time.
guy in front of me is
He ended
Stokes.
up
There was
taking a bunch
actually
of
a
money. Like,
detective behind
I
me.
had.
The detective was actually more interested in the case. And because of the, connection with the FBI or whatever,
Yes.
since I had already discussed this with the FBI as well, placed a online record on this one and, like stopped by the FBI field office.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, we don't know any, they don't have any idea who I am. And if anything has been reported, it's probably just been basically like not looked at.
Yes.
But according to Tempe and Mesa, because I went to Tempe yesterday because they were also using Tempe to try to harass me, and Tempe PD was like, "Nah, bro, you ain't got nothing but the parking ticket you just paid." And I was like, "Oh, cool, cool." So, and Mesa, they're like, "Well, why are you even here?" And I was like, "Because I wanted to talk to this officer and get it on record that there's nothing going on for me here. Like, he's not even going to the right location because I've never lived in Mesa. Like, so it's just kind of weird now because he was thoroughly exposed, right? Like,
Yeah.
stop that stream and everything should have been done. Like, he should have just stopped. He should have just been like, fuck, I got beat. But the thing is that's not how he works because he's a sociopath.
Yeah.
So immediately he disregards anything for himself and he immediately just goes on the attack. And he brings back every single person and all the alt accounts that he's possibly had. Even one of his big ones. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to use one of my big ones to dox your new address. And technically, he doxed the address for the trust.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were to do anything with that address, he'd be harassing an 88-year-old man who is in hospice. And they really, really like that old man in that town because he's done a lot for it. So
Yes.
basically, right now he's in the situation where he has bit off way too much more than he can chew. He has spoken way too many lies, and now he's basically just in like free fall in his own mind. Like there's nothing that he can do. He feels like the only thing that he can attack, because living with him and understanding the type of individual he was, I found out really quickly that he has no remorse for anyone's feelings. He only has remorse for himself. Like if you threaten him, or if you threaten his, if you take money from him, even if it's money he stole from you, you're evil and you're a threat. You talk about his family, you talk about his children. You know, like let's talk about his kid real quick.
All right.
His kid, poor kid. His kid seems to be a great, great young man.
Yes.
But guess what? His kid never sees his dad. His dad never sees his kid. He might talk to him on the phone every now and again, but he never sees his kid. He doesn't pay child support for his kid. He's basically deadbeat father of the year, in my opinion. And trust me, I grew up with some interesting deadbeat being from where I'm from.
Yes.
And just going through how he's like treated his ex-wives, how he's treated his children, and he utilizes these individuals as like play pieces. He doesn't actually fucking care about his kid. I'll be pretty honest about that. If he cared about his kid, he would have been working to pay for his kid's college tuition. If he cared about his kid, he would be spending time with his kid, not doing all the crap that he does on the internet. He doesn't care about his kid, although that's his main weakness.
Yeah.
You bring that up, he immediately is like, oh, what? And you know what? He always tells this really, really fucked up story about this guy named Steve LaFleur. He was like, oh, Steve LaFleur, which is one of the first people that Thomas ever went after online. If you go, you can see everything that he ever did to that guy by just looking up his name. And you'll see Thomas's name show up. You'll see videos that were created because this guy legitimately just wanted to ruin his life. And the story that he tells everyone is that, oh, well, Steve LaFleur used to threaten my son. He threatened to cut off Wolfie's ears. That's what he calls his son. He calls his son Wolfie.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, you have this recorded and you have evidence of this? Yes. Is what he says yes. But nobody's ever heard any evidence of this one. There's no records of police reports on that one. The only records of police reports show that this guy's a criminal. This guy was arrested for stalking. This guy was arrested for various DUIs, like over 7 or something like that. I don't even know. Like, according to the lady that I met when I first like actually went to the house that he was living at, which wasn't even his house, which was her house. She owned everything in the house. And this lady, poor Linda Barrett, very nice lady.
I've heard
She
about
had
her.
been taking care. She had been taking care of him for years, meaning doting on his every beck and call, making him breakfast, paying the bills, not taking any rent from him, even though he owed her thousands. Like, this guy was trying to sell her the world, and it wasn't even until I met her and started asking her questions about things that he was doing that she even started to realize that there was an issue. And I think that that's when Thomas really realized that he was going to have to take me out or whatever, because his whole entire thing has been trying to set me up to be arrested or something, because he knew I was going to expose the whole cicada thing. He just didn't know when.
Yeah.
So he kept on trying to put me in situations where he could maybe scare me into using the cops. But now in this situation, he can't use that against me because the cops are on my side. The FBI is on my side. All the generals, all the people that I've talked to, trying to investigate this individual's history and that know all about his past, they're all on my side right now. So I look at what he's doing right now as like the death throes of a man that, you know, just has nothing. When he moved out of Linda's house, all he had was like a bag. When the last time that I saw him, the only thing that this dude had was like one suitcase and a cell phone and his laptop. That's it. He had nothing else to his name. He was basically a total drifter at this point. And right now, we don't have any idea where he's staying at. We don't know where he's living at. I think he's living with Mindy, Jib Cameron's little girlfriend or whatever, the girl that's going all crazy saying that she knows my MDMA dealer and all this other shit.
Oh,
I'm just like,
I'll pull that up real quick. Right here. All right. Replying to
He said
Clara
it's so
Nelson,
lonely.
Jib Cameron, and 13 others. P.S. I have tracked down his dealer here. You see, I do not use drugs, but I wonder if someone might ask Manny how the AZ MDMA is. He should know. Nobody ought to threaten my babies. It's just never a good idea. I don't joke when it comes to the safety of my children. First thing that I gotta
Yeah,
say
you
about
do.
that. First thing that I gotta say about that is I saw your post, and that was not a threat. Like, she's doing the whole cry wolf scenario because she's blonde, beautiful, and some strong man's gonna come in and be like, oh, Defango is evil, and all this stuff. You know, it's stupid because you straight up just said how the system works. If a person is found guilty of a crime and they have kids, then the kids usually go to parents and or the system. It's not a threat. Nobody said, oh, let's call someone and do this or anything, or didn't even target it. It was just a phrase and saying that you used.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey, like you should be more worried about your children and, maybe this guy that, is feeding her lies that's from Argentina. His name's Jib Camera or
Yep.
whatever. This guy, this guy was a moderator in my chat room. Like, this guy was always acting like he was my buddy, even though everything that he said sounded just like Thomas,
Yep.
or he would be trying to feed me information just like Thomas. And then anytime anything would be happening in my little secret groups,
Mm-hmm.
the only person that would ever take any information back to Thomas was him. So I was like, okay, so I've known about his little situation, and I've kind of been waiting to see what he was going to do. And the other night he just starts blocking everybody on my account, and I'm just like, or on one of my channels, just
Yeah.
blocking every single account,
You
just to
actually have this pulled
more
up on your
more
TV,
harassment.
correct?
Yeah.
All right, you see what I have right here. This is actually what was said for anyone who's actually watching. And as you can see, the wording is not menacing. It's actually not anything that Mind Inspired is trying to portray it as. I'm pretty sure everyone can see that. I mean, it's right
Oh,
there.
well, World Foot Volley in the chat is Jim, by the
Oh, hi, Jib. Let me have a couple choice words for you. All right, pull up Ghost Crab. All right. See, I noticed that you had me blocked today, right? And literally, you are sounding a lot like frickin' Thomas. I mean, you're going off, and I've never seen you go off at all like this. I understand the need to white knight certain things, but if you actually go and talk to Jesse, he has definitive proof that Mind Inspired literally was bothering him, messaging him via email and everything based on all the stuff that Thomas was doing. Like, he's chronicled every single thing. You know, I've stayed out of this stuff, but I figured, I was like, hey, I need to say something because this was just too good. Because it fell in line with what I was saying a long time ago when I decided to run the email, and then everything just fell into place. But right here, I see that you're actually going after Sherry. Sherry, you must realize that you're akin to the underboss of the Defango. Well, you're a superhero, Defango.
underboss.
You're the
Dude, wait, when did
Defango.
I become an underboss? When did I become a fucking
This,
mafioso?
hey man, being a mobster's cool. I mean, mob movies were awesome when I was growing up, but I don't know. Manuel Chavez, cartel, right? You are his #1 protector, financier, and supporter. You provide housing and access to internet where he commits wire fraud almost daily in furtherance of his grift. All right, I've been watching
When did
Defangos.
I grift?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Sorry, go
anything.
for it.
I've been watching Defango stuff and following him ever since all this Thomas stuff started. You know, and I'm going to tell you this right now is that I haven't really seen anything that would be grifting. You know, he lives his life, he decides to document it, And he goes through and he makes friends through text boxes, and they throw donations at him and everything. That's their money. They can decide to go and throw donations, because what he's doing is he's providing a service. He's entertaining people. He makes people laugh, he makes people think, and that's it. You know, hey, is that grifting? I don't think so. Do you think
Yeah,
so?
I don't think that's grifting. I mean, I remember when I started off my channel, I didn't have any of that stuff because I didn't care about it. It wasn't until all of my subscribers told me to get into that stuff that I even got it. And then it became a thing that I started doing pretty regularly. So just like, if people want to donate to me, they can donate to me. It's not like people see exactly what they're getting for what they're giving.
Nope.
And if they want to donate to me $100, if they want to donate to me $2, that's their deal. That's their deal. It's not my deal. I'm not the one that's sitting up here like, oh, so many other people that beg for money. I haven't ever been like, donate to my PayPal. Here's the link for it. I'm like, if you want to donate, the link's in the description, and it's up to you. And that's how it's always been. That's how it's always been.
Yeah, and it's sad that people want to keep on trying to go after that, because, I mean, just in the status right after, like, I'm going to tell you this, I'm not going to refresh pages because I know that they're going to freaking go and privatize their freaking stuff and protect their tweets. But right here, it says, yes, I know, that is what prompted any of this. Your friend Manny decided to live stream his visit and then make illegal threats and false accusations against myself and other parties in front of his audience for profit. His YouTube partner days are numbered. Now, see, that right there is a threat that should be just taken and screenshotted.
Oh, yeah, I
just in
screenshotted
case.
every single thing that he said. I have a bot that basically watches all of their accounts and takes text and image screenshots of all their accounts. So there's no way that they could block me on if they wanted. They're never going to find the account that's looking up information, copying their tweets, and sideloading it to people, because I'm not trying to, have any issues with these people. But the thing is when I come out and start talking about what I'm doing, I'm just saying, hey, this is what it is. And, if I'm wrong, then obviously they're going about proving me wrong in the worst fucking way possible.
Yeah.
After I've proven them to be false, they're like, oh, well, now you're going to have to deal with the FBI and all this other stuff. I'm like, bros, I only showed you me going to one place. I didn't show you going to the other places on purpose, because I already knew that's what you were going to do, or at least attempt to do. Like, this isn't a situation where these people are going to be in. Like, these people have legitimately are a gang, an armed gang of stalkers.
Ghost
Jib
Crab.
Camera owns guns.
I'm sorry, Defango. Give me 1 second. Ghost Crab, I'm going to tell you this right now. I didn't say anything to you, but once you saw that I was appearing and starting to talk, you fled like a cowardly little rat. Or I'm not even going to give you a rat. I'm going to give you a cockroach into a corner that shadowed and blocked me. Alright? Once you saw I was back in action, you blocked me, which I find very hilarious. And then I actually, since Defango is here, I'll tell him that I was on one of his streams and he brought up Thomas and he was cooking breakfast. Now, suddenly, I'm blocked from being able to talk on chat because I start talking about Thomas, and you were moderating. Pretty sure that you did that.
Yeah, well, he just did that in the last, one of the last streams that I have. He was just sitting there blocking every single person in my chat. Why would Jib be doing that? I wasn't even talking about Jib. No, actually, what was I doing? I was talking about Thomas. I was only talking about Thomas and how I was going to be going to Mesa PD and exposing his ass. And then I did do that, and now look what's happening. It's kind of weird. Like these actions that they make are so direct. It's almost ridiculous to think that people could see it in any other way, especially with Jib. Like, he's always constantly calling me on my phone from different private numbers. And back in the day, I told him, I was like, you're never going to be my friend until I know who you are. If you're not going to call me on your fucking regular phone number and actually be like, hey, this is me, and I'm not just some fucking random internet motherfucker spying on you. And I was like, then you could do that. I was like, if not, then I'm just going to treat you like a fucking bag of dicks, because that's what you are, a bag of dicks. and I haven't changed. Like I'm not gonna feel like a dick about being honest about this situation. The guy Witten got in contact with Thomas to verify everything that I was saying and became his friend, apparently. So, he did exactly what I was like, yo, if you go talk to Thomas, and I was like, you're fucking done to me, bro. Like, you can try to be my friend all you want. And at the end of the days, you're just going to be one of those individuals that starts believing in his lies. And then he's going to start trying to sell you the world with money. And then you're just going to end up being somebody that he uses and abuses like
Yep.
he's doing right now.
Yeah, Jib, I'm going to tell you this is that I used to be good with Thomas, all right? And I actually liked the guy until he started basically bossing me around, having me to go do certain things. Like, he had me like a rabid dog towards Lestat. And it took Lestat snapping at me and getting me pissed off for me to actually think. Because Lestat knew that if I would get pissed off to a point and he'd start saying stuff that wasn't true using those tactics, that I'd back off and think about it, which I did. And I was like, wait a minute. I can verify these emails that are threats. It would be so simple. Why didn't anyone think of that? So I went back and I verified the addresses for the servers. Next thing you know, they're real emails. The threats came from Thomas's email. Thomas also told me on the phone, after denying it for like 2 days, and I stayed on him for 3 days, that yes, he did threaten with the cartel for Lestat. And that is when I was done. As soon as I was done and I wouldn't do what he wanted me to do, guess what would happen? He portrayed me as a pedophile. He portrayed me as all these monstrous things. Like, yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. He portrayed me as a pedophile too.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
oh,
Lestat.
that's and then he did the same thing to Lestat.
Yeah, because
And then
what's
it's
worse?
funny. What's worse, and it's funny, like today, they don't like pedophiles or whatever. Today I was talking about a pedo that I used to work for that is been with the girl or whatever.
Yep.
It's a situation that not a lot of people like to talk about in Tempe, but I'm willing to flip that table just because I ain't got no skin in the game out here no more, dog. So, and I know this guy won't take me to court because number one, it's true, and if it goes to court, he's like, oh, he's slandering me because he's saying that I was with an underage girls. Well, were you? Well, yeah. Well, that's not slander.
No.
That's whistleblowing. And, honestly, I spent a lot of time working in like kitchens and restaurants in that area, and I have a lot of friends down there. And it's just
Ghost
funny
Crab,
that
I'll
these
have a
guys think that
different
they
stream
can.
to talk to you if you want. But I'm going to tell you this right now, that my interactions with you in the past have been very subpar. The first time I've actually ever talked to you was when you started White Knighting. And, they have this adage saying that the White Knight is the man that hides in the bushes in battle. And that's what I think you're doing right now, is hiding in the bushes and just coming out. Because you really don't come around unless there's something Thomas related. I mean, every single time I was doing my gaming streams, you'd come in to see if I was saying anything, and you'd always weigh in your opinions about the Thomas thing, where it's honestly apparent that you're Team Thomas all the way. It's not Team Mind Inspired, it's Team Thomas, because everywhere Thomas goes, Mind Inspired is, and then you are, and it's just really random. But I will give you the benefit of the doubt and allow you to call me on Discord, and we can actually have it on a stream, and I can ask you some questions, and we'll both keep calm. That's the only way that I would do that, though, is that if the whole conversation was actually calm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Jib thing, you gotta realize is with Jib, this guy used to call me all the time. He used to always like try to like do his thing on my channel, and honestly, like I look at him as being the worst kind of gang stalker on the planet because of what he did. He was in my channel like acting like my friend,
Yeah.
and then once he starts asking me about this Thomas situation, he's like, "Oh, who's this guy?" or whatever. He's like, I'm like, dude, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go talk to him. You're gonna believe his lies because you're an idiot, and I'm gonna have to be done with you. And I was. I had been done with him for a very, very long time. And he talks about being a supporter. I ain't never seen a donation. Lurkster supported me way more than she had. And the thing is whatever Lurkster does is whatever Lurkster does.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Sherry. Like it's not about what everybody else is doing for me, but that seems to be what they make it about always. It's always been about this guy that was supposed to be my friend that could never give me a number. He could never give me a real name. He could never be an honest, truthful, upstanding individual. So I was like, dude, you're done. And then since then, he's been in my channels, sending me little nasty DMs and shit, acting
Mm-hmm.
like an asshole. And I've just been like, okay, well, I see what you're doing. And I even invited him into the QAnon group who were working on the expose. And I put him in there just so that he could see exactly how deep this thing was going and all the stuff that he was working on with Thomas and stuff. All that stuff
Yes.
is getting exposed. So this is this guy being in shock right now. He's in shock because he's like, I can't believe that this guy was smart enough to realize that, like I've been a fucking piece of shit this entire time. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is like I've noticed there's been a whole lot of people that I haven't been able to trust in this situation. And Jib, who do you think actually did all the negative stuff here? Who's the one that's running all this shit? Like, why is Jib even talking to me? Oh, because I'm attacking poor Mindy, who has never done anything wrong. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I see the chat, and Sherry brought up the whole doxing thing. And Sherry, I know how that feels because this video right here that says Lestat, the fake cicada, is exposed as a Q-tard by Scott Bibler, I had to go and literally report it for personal information because the details literally had my whole family's name, age, information, as well as an ex-girlfriend I haven't talked to in 10 years, her phone number and everything on it. So that right there was a total wake-up call for me. And that was like, oh hell no, you're not going to do that. And I'm going to bite back. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, that's how they operate, dude. And I
Yeah.
mean, this is the kind of stuff that this is the stuff that Jib's a party to or whatever. And he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem to get it. Like he's not mentally fit enough. He's not mentally fit enough to have a conversation about this like a legitimate human being, number one.
Oh,
And number
Jared.
two, if he did want to be it, oh shit, Jared's here.
Oh, hi,
Fucking love
Jared.
Jared.
How you doing?
Yeah, I tweeted it out too, so there should be a bunch of people.
All right.
I mean, legitimately, like, I don't want this to be about Jib, but it's like, okay, so we see how Thomas interacts with people. Scott Bibler was another one of those
Yes.
individuals who was always in my channel, who eventually turned against me, just like everybody else does. Everybody that TS can manipulate, which is like he manipulated Jib. It was like, oh, Defango is a piece of shit. Defango stole money from me. Defango was going to hack this. I mean, do you remember when Thomas was telling everybody that, oh, I was going to go hack Seth Rich's brother or some shit
Mm-hmm.
like that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was saying that he had me recorded it on video and stuff like that. And I'm just
Ghost
like,
Crab,
that's really
anyone with a
funny.
high IQ wouldn't actually claim their IQ and state their IQ. They'd be humble enough to just shut the fuck up. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. And he's too busy spurging out to actually, like have a relevant conversation. He's only here to just, put his
Derail.
shit out because he doesn't actually have the balls to like, be like us and just be us on the internet. He
Yeah.
can't do that. He's got to hide behind a camera. And it's funny because his name, Jib Camera, if you look at the pictures, this dude's the guy that's always behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
He's the loser that's always behind the camera. He's not the one that's, actually doing anything or saying anything, He's just the one that's watching everything go down and making comments like a bitch. I mean, that's how it's always been for Jib. And, like, I hate, being like this, but I'm just being honest because, like, I've just watched this individual become more and more toxic to me to the point where now he's just like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to say the FBI is coming after you and you're coming after me. Jib, You're completely out of your goddamn mind. I already went to the FBI. I already went to the fucking police. And guess what? They don't fucking care about this shit. And
No.
they're just like, if these guys keep doxing you and harassing you, let us know because we'll take care of them. Because honestly, what you guys do is so much worse than anything that I've ever done. And I've never done anything wrong.
Hey,
Period.
I think
And,
I think I did the worst out of anyone in the group, man. Like friggin', I hardly even talk to you. I don't even talk to Lestat very much, but Thomas is putting my information out, and I'm still not afraid to show my face because what I am saying, Jib, is truth. I haven't said any lies about you whatsoever. The first time that we did meet, you went and white knighted for Mind Inspired. You told me I had to apologize for pulling up her record and sharing that she had misdemeanors for drug type deal with children or something like that. You know, and literally, you just freaking came at me, and I didn't know you had them. I mean, your balls were big, man. You just go on Twitter and be like, hey, leave Mindy alone. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. That's a simple case in point, man.
Jib, I'm gonna catch you. Don't let me catch you in the street, dog. Don't let me catch you in the street, Jib. Make sure you clip this one. Be like, look, he's making threats. Make sure you don't catch me in the street so I can call the cops and have you arrested for stalking me.
Oh man, half these people I would love to see come to Detroit and frickin' walk Cat's Corridor at night, man. Most of them wouldn't survive. It's ridiculous. Like, man, Flint, I was living in Flint when I first started doing the puzzles and everything. Everyone knows about the Flint water crisis and all the crime. Now I live over near Saginaw, which Saginaw is murder capital of Michigan. Like, some people grow up in horrible places. And if any of them came and did anything in these cities, they'd be in a lot of trouble, man, because they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't, because everyone around here is strapped. It's fucking crazy. Like, you walk around and you'll see people fucking open carrying down the street, no fucks given, and they don't even have their open carry license. You'll see all the freaking gangbangers sitting on a porch. I went over to Pontiac probably about like 3 weeks ago. Passed by a house, bunch of black dudes sitting on a porch freaking with an AK. Cops don't do shit. They don't care around here.
Was it a sweet AK?
Yeah,
Was it
was
a
nice.
gold-plated AK?
No, it was actually a nice
Did you
gun,
stop
man.
and were like, dude, that's a bro? Were you like, bro,
Hell
that's a
yeah,
nice
I
AK?
stopped at the crack house and was like, hey, yeah, what's up? How you doing? No, I didn't. But, I mean, when I was younger, did I know people who were like that? Hell yeah, I did. I mean, when you're younger, you know stupid motherfuckers and shit. As you grow older, you stay away from that shit and you focus more so on family, all that other good stuff, and trying to create a life for yourself and or your children that you have. It's legal to open carry there, Sherry?
It's legal to open carry in Arizona,
Oh,
and
the
it's legal to
stat's
open
here.
carry in
My
Nevada.
wrench is
And
here.
the stat showed up.
All right. Lestat, moderate the chat in case we do have anybody jump in that says anything inappropriate, please. But only if it's really inappropriate. If it's like semi, let people talk. But no, I went to the FBI in December. I filed a report in December. I've actually went to my courthouse, talked to people up there and everything. People thought I was joking about it. No, I wasn't. Jesse did. Now, Defango's talked about it and everything. And it's a very real thing, you know. And one thing that I wanted to say when we were actually on here is that there is no group of people doing anything. Like, you could go through and none of the stuff's choreographed and or freaking planned or plotted out. It just is literally people who have been going through the same hell posting the same things. I post my own stuff that I found about Thomas. Nobody told me to. I didn't tell anyone about it. They just saw it on Twitter. Same thing with everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't posted half the shit that I have on Thomas. But it doesn't matter, you know?
No.
To me, it's more funny that Jib's in the chat talking all the smack, calling us scared punks, and we're like, we're not scared punks. We're just not giving you what you want because you think you can bully your way into everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like you bullied your way onto my stream, just like we bullied your way into my life. Like, bro, if I ever met you in real life, I would totally make you look like because you're not scary.
Yeah.
You're one of those types of guys that basically just acts really big until the very, very last second, and then you're just going to be like every other guy. Like, you can act big. You've had so many chances to talk all the shit that you want, dude. You've had so many chances.
Well,
What,
if
what makes you think that
look
we're
at
going to give
this.
you the chance today?
Look at look at this. He's talking shit on Twitter. Like, and it makes me a big man because first off, Ghost Grab, you literally blocked me and I didn't say anything to you. Once I came back onto the scene and then Thomas started posting all of his hateful stuff on War and Trumpets and War about me, you blocked me. So I knew that you had something to hide, so I just jumped onto another account and literally, look at this. You're just talking up a shitstorm because you didn't want me to answer on any of these posts. Like, you're calling him a cyber criminal? Dude, he's in
When
his
did I
room
ever
streaming.
commit? When did I ever commit a cybercrime?
I haven't seen anything.
I mean, I know the FBI and
No, I
all kinds
blocked
of other
you for a
agencies watch
reason.
my streams. If I did something wrong, they would let me know about it.
I blocked you for a reason, and that's because the law enforcement agency around here stated for me to block every single person that was attributed. After this stuff dropped, I unblocked everyone because I wanted to see what would happen. And lo and behold, you didn't have me blocked when I unblocked you today. But as soon as I started talking to Defango, you're like, I'm gonna block seize this person. And why though? Why did you block me? Co-conspirator. Tell your tenant I am amused that he attacks me without provocation. Today via his monetized YouTube creators channel. And that blocks me here while continuing his baseless attacks. Now, Defango, I have a question for you. Was your YouTube channel threatened in any shape and or formed by this group of people?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
They've been threatening. They threatened it multiple times, and they're actually behind the original time that my channel was taken down,
So,
including my first Twitter account and my second Twitter account.
so this is a
So
tactic they've used in the past, and it might be a very, very real threat. So I'm glad that we got that.
it's a very real threat. It's a very real threat, but the thing is I've already been in contact with YouTube about all the situation and shared all the information, so they can lie all they want and say all they want. I'm not Owen Benjamin, and I only do positive shit. So honestly, all the videos that I have detailing the copious amounts of things that this group has done has already protected me from anything that they're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
And even if they do think that, like, the funniest thing out there over anything is they're like, oh, well, you're a YouTube partner creator. What, you guys think that you're going to take down one of my channels and you're going to take away my partner status? Wrong. You think you're going to take away my YouTube All-Star or my Streamlabs creator status? Wrong. You guys don't have any ownership of that. You have no control over that. You can report all you want with all your fake accounts, but as far as I can tell, all the reports that I just got in say that you guys are really, really quickly dwindling in your abilities quite quickly, and the big boys are watching you right now and basically laughing because this has possibly been the poorest attempt that you guys have ever made to ruin somebody's life.
Yeah. I'd have to say that, how many times have you witnessed me say that my past does not define who I am and that it doesn't affect me because I was 17 years old? So I'm 32 years old now. It's like I left shit in the past and I moved forward with my life. Still do
Yeah,
the
well,
same
the thing is we can move forward. They're not going to move forward. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm going to have a great birthday. Be hanging out with the fam, doing all kinds of good stuff. And you know what they're going to do all day tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Is try to ruin it on Twitter. And that's just the funniest thing is because I have pigeonholed them to that location. That's exactly where I want them to be. And if they think that, oh, going and calling all these people that were in my past and periphery is going to assist them, those people have zero to do with my life now.
Yeah.
Scott Price, that's the new one that Jib's saying, oh, he's going after. I'm like, go for it, Jib.
Mm-hmm.
Make my day, buddy. I did that on purpose because I knew you're dumb enough to fucking call that guy. And once you do, then you're going to let me pull out the biggest thread. And I'll have to thank you for that one. Thank you for helping me take down the biggest scum bag that I've met in a while. But that's okay, It's like, hey, if you guys want to go ahead and pull that thread, be my guest. Please.
Are you
I
looking
have
at
all
the
the
screen?
videos and I have all the videos and documentation associated with it. No, I'm not looking at the screen right now.
Well, you know that obviously 4 hours ago I started entering the fray and was like, oh my god, good job. And then I started commenting on stuff. Well, I took the heat off of you, and you can see QAnon Cyborg literally started posting every single thing about me. And using my real name,
You should report it.
criminal stalker. And then...
You should report all that stuff, actually.
I will. But
I'll go report all that stuff too and
no.
get his other account blocked.
No. And then Powerful Primes, he's like, hey, little faggot. Like, I don't get it. He always talks about trans people. He always talks about pedophilia. He always talks about friggin' gay people. And it's like, what the hell? What's wrong with being gay? First and foremost, there's nothing wrong with being gay. And
yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gay. Yeah. I'm bisexual. Everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows
wrong
that.
With it, man. My best
I like guys
gay.
and girls. What's the problem?
Yeah. It's ridiculous because he seems to have these go-tos. Because he posted up that picture, which I'm going to say that picture, where is it? Right here? That's an alright fucking picture, man. I don't see nothing wrong with it. And literally...
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
He literally...
I posted that...
Go ahead.
I was like, what these guys don't get is that I posted that stuff on my own accord. Like, I wanted that stuff to be out there. I don't find any shame in my the way that I look, period. Like, I met fucking Paul McCartney wearing that fucking thing. Honestly, what are you going to tell me that's going to be different? Paul McCartney was a little like, fucking like your style. I'm like, thanks, bro. Appreciate that, sir. These guys, like, they're trying to attack my looks. Like, I look like this on purpose. I know what I look like. Like, you can't hurt me by posting pictures of me. I mean, honestly, it just shows more negativity coming from their front because they're like, oh, well, look, here, we're just going to attack your looks. We're going to go back to the lowest of the low. And even then, you can go to my Facebook and see all kinds of funny-ass pictures that I posted of myself.
There you go, Jib, so you can actually block me. There's my name, Squirrel Man.
Jib's like being lied on 1-on-2. No, Jib, you're not being lied on. Nobody's lying about you. We're just discussing everything that you've been doing for the last 4 to 5 hours. Basically saying everything for what? Like, he had his chance. And blew it. This is what happens when you blow. People aren't going to be your friend anymore. Bye, Felicia.
Alright, where the hell is my phone?
Oh, you gotta enter your code.
Yep, I gotta enter my code.
Ghost Crab's like, let me speak. No. Like,
There's the
Why
text
would we
message.
let you speak? Like, there's no reason for us to let you speak.
Jib
Like, that's
Camera,
the
we're
whole
not
point.
cowards, bro. Like, honestly, like I said, is Defango will get the floor. I will start another stream, and I will give you my Discord information, and you can literally call me, and I will stream our whole conversation. I won't edit it out. I won't do anything. Now, you just need to wait your turn and stop acting like a spoiled child. That's about it. I haven't said anything attacking you. I've just told people what my, like, encounters with you have been like.
Well, it's all right, dude. I'll be a coward all day long, and everybody knows that Jib Camera, aka Ghost Crab, is biggest yellow belly in the West, and he's in Argentina right now.
Well, poor T.L. Jared, cry more, Ghost Crab.
Cry more, Ghost Crab. Yeah, you're
All I
lying
hear is
about me.
"Ree."
He sounds like a little. He just sounds like the biggest baby. I mean, you should have heard this guy calling me and like telling me, "Oh, dude, I'm just like trying to be your friend or whatever." And I'm like, "You're trying to be my friend, but you're going behind my back with Thomas."
I
Nice.
can no longer message this person. Alright, go all the way. Okay, first conversation I ever had with you was right when I started getting attacked on the 24th of December. I asked you, you tagged me in something, Jib? I have people blocked. What's up? And you came at me nice and said, hey, I don't want enemies. I'm friends with Mindy, and that shit was very uncool. I tagged you in Thomas' post. He was mistagging your at. Lestat is a dickhead, sowing chaos, no better than T. Alright. So, right there, you badmouth T, which, that's cool with me. I don't care to battle with any of them, but I do care about Mindy. She doesn't need that shit. This is the first conversation we had. How is me saying that you are white knighting a lie?
It's not a lie.
Exactly. It isn't. So you're not getting ganged up on being lied about or anything, because I save everything. That's one thing that I learned a long time ago. Save everything in case. You know?
Yeah, dude. Jib says he needs to put up his counter lies. That's
Yeah.
why he wants the floor. I want to be able to. I want to be able to put up all my lies that counter everything that you guys just said was truth. Yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, I could go down through the whole conversations that we've had, because they're spaced apart for every single time that Mindy's been brought up into this. And the first time that I brought Mindy up into this is because literally Thomas put so much freaking like, oh, this person's so cool and you need to meet this person and talk to this person. And hell, man, I still have all of me and her's text messages saved on this phone too. You know, see, it says Mindy right there. It says Mindy right there. My last text message to her was because she hit me up talking about saying that this guy was bad-mouthing and targeting us all, and gave me a YouTube link. And she said, I reported it, but you may wish to do it as well. And I was like, I'll check it out. And I was like, this guy's interesting. No reason to report. Kind of like him. He's just giving his opinion. You know, she tried to get me to go and report another YouTuber and state, oh, well, he's saying we're pedophiles and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's just a fucking opinion. I'm not going to report based on a fucking opinion where there's no fact or anything. I know who I am. Do you know who you are? That's the last time that I talked to her, and that was like a month and a half ago, and that was after all of this shit. You know, craziest thing, she just messaged me out of the blue. Even after threatening me with the whole Stokes thing and all this shit. Like,
And then after today, going and talking to Stoke.
no. No,
Like,
we are not Thomas. Okay, one thing that I've learned, and this is just my opinion, and I believe that everyone should be able to have their own opinion. All right, you are who you hang out with. You share characteristics of the people that you hang out with and talk to the most.
that's why I hang out with Jared all the time now, because he's awesome. Just saying. Shout out to Jared.
Yep. What's up, Jared? Thanks for coming and watching, man. Exactly, Lurkster. Exactly. And, I associate with, obviously, Diane and Jesse I talk to once in a while. You know, Diane's a really nice woman. She's not crazy. She's not unhinged. She just got sucked into the T-drama because she loved his music. Which, if you go back into his music from the beginning, you'll see that all of his released stuff is just re-edited stuff from the past. At least that's what I
Yeah, it's
found.
nothing's new.
Nothing's new.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that he's a very expert pianist or whatever, but there's a lot of talk that most of the songs that he knows are actually just songs that he learned off of his girl, like one of his wives,
Yeah.
ex-wives.
Yeah, I heard that rumor. You know, a lot of stuff gets back to me, and I don't even know why, man. It's like freaking something happens with Thomas, and suddenly I have like a group of people just bam, 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 bam messaging me. And I'm like, oh, guys, I'm kind of out of it. I haven't been in this for about a month and a half. What's happening? Well, you need to see this and this. Today was the breaking point, and I was like, oh, I definitely need to see this.
Dude, you know, it's funny, Jim saying that. He's like, I negotiated peace for Defango, and I'm like, no, 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 you didn't, Jib. Because if you did negotiate peace, none of this would have been happening. No, no, no. I negotiated myself peace with Thomas, and he broke that peace.
Well,
And now we're here. Like, what did you expect? You guys planned to do this during my birthday week. It's my birthday, and this is what I'm having to deal with.
didn't they fuck with you
You know, I
last
had
year,
to
too?
come home. And they fucked with me last year. So, you know, no more. It's not going to happen anymore. Like, full extent of the law and the full extent of the Defango are going to be made to ensure that people are fully aware of what you people do, how you people operate, and the evil that you see. Like, your own bad karma is going to eat you. And, you know, honestly, right now, the universe is on my side, baby.
Yeah, I don't see anything bad happening freaking to any of us that are attributed because, one, we don't do anything. Like, I haven't doxed anyone. I've talked to authorities, and I literally had cops in my house. I've went up to courthouses, everything like that, and they straight up told me what I did was just doing research on someone that I got too close to and found out that they were a snake. Internet's a dangerous place. Nothing is sacred anymore. Privacy is nil to none. You can go on a free website and type in someone's name, and then bam, you have every single freaking thing that you could imagine. It's ridiculous, you know, but honestly, I don't believe that if someone is doing wrong and hurting people, you know, by utilizing any form of social media, such as Twitter or anything, they don't deserve privacy, really. You know, especially if you're like siphoning money out of people, and from what I've seen is we're dealing with a lot of schizophrenics and unstable people in the cicada community. It's like a schizo trap, man. So these people get
That's what
these,
they're hunting for.
yeah, these people get it in their minds like, oh, take a look at like Sophia Pistis. You know, she's a goddess. You know, she's a goddess. She can do this. She can do that. And I mean, to a crazy person, and I say that in a nice way, I mean, freaking, but to someone who is chemically imbalanced, they may look up to a person like that and give their whole life savings to them. And that right there is wrong. You know, someone who's down on their luck, like when I first met Thomas, they were trying to get me to go and literally so-called like take over Defango's spot as a streamer for Cicada. I didn't want to do it. You know, I never saw myself as doing this whole streaming type deal. But then I was like, you know, something once in a while I'll do it, but I don't want to do it professionally, making money and everything. I see all the hell that Defangos went through. I see all the hell that all these other people who are making money go through. It's ridiculous. It's because people get YouTube envy or something. It's kind of like penis envy minus the penis.
Yep. That's exactly how it is. And I mean, think about it this way. It's like they tried to take me out the last time and they thought that they had me down. And then I've come back. I've gotten double the subscribers. It's taken a lot with all of the, harassment and shit because they constantly come into my streams just to harass me, just to ruin it for the audience. And Jib Camera is one of the main offenders on that shit.
Yep.
And, we've caught him doing it so many times. And he tries to act like, oh, he's so innocent, like he doesn't do shit. I'm like, dude, you are the worst kind of troll,
Yeah.
like out there. Like, I actually put him in a group to show him what regular people act like and what cool people are like again to see if he would be able to like reintegrate. And he's completely lost, dude. Like, he's so caught up in this chick, and he's so caught up in Thomas's shit that, like, I'm pretty sure his actual business is like suffering because of it.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet that with all of the new information that's going to be getting shipped around the, photo community, I think this guy's going to have a lot of problems getting work in the future. Because, like once you start getting unstable like this and you start worrying about other people's lives so much and trying to ruin them, you just ruin your own. And, honestly, I can't wait for the universe. And I keep saying universe because I don't do anything other than live my life and talk about what's been happening. And, it's funny. They keep trying to say I'm lying about this QAnon thing or I was never a part of the cicada thing. And it's just kind of like strange because I have all the evidence and I've downloaded all the videos and stuff. So, their only case in point has always been, oh, well, we can just, strike his channel out of existence and then we win because then nobody will ever know about our ploys. But that's the thing is, I got those videos in places that you'll never be able to get them down.
And that right there is a very smart move. Like, I've made sure to make backups of every single stream that I've done. I know the first three were like freaking 4 hours long because there was so much to talk about. And people were like, wow, you did it for 4 or 5 hours? And I'm like, well, I had to get every single fucking thing out. We came across some pretty interesting information during those streams. And, Lestat's friggin' put out a whole lot of cool shit too. Friggin' that helped along trying to understand the behavior of these individuals.
Yeah, but Lestat's like a fucking crazy animal. No, I'm just messing around. Like Lestat, like I've been working with Lestat more or less, but like he's been doing, making me videos and shit. And honestly, like I never had any problems with him back in the day. I knew everything that was going on back in the day was 100% attributed to Thomas. And, after we talked or whatever for a little bit, like, I think he realized that, like, I've never been trying to do anything negative. I'm trying to be positive.
Alright. His Q-Tard Q. Let's see. There we go. No results found. He took down his Q-Tard Q account. Interesting. Elizabeth Varing. Let's see if Elizabeth Varing's still up. This is another one that was posting videos. Obviously, there's one hidden. You can see Cicada. Lestat is fake Cicada. Spread the word. Frank Bacon actually had a couple videos that were attacking me, you, and Lestat. Like, my favorite one was that. Did you see the Valentine's Day one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Like, I had a laugh at that one. Because they picked the best picture of me, too. It's like, hell yeah. Throw that up on a dating profile. It'll work out.
Yeah, I mean, let's ask and see what else they've done in order to harass people. I mean, it's funny because like I didn't want to have any issues, and literally like none of this shit would have happened. But then I go to court yesterday, and they're here and they're Spurgin, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go prove it wrong. Like all this is happening because I went to Mesa PD and proved them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now it's gonna be a situation where it's like, like I don't really give a shit about Thomas. I'm just like, stop. Like you're just super sad.
Yep.
Like, because now once again you're trying to affect my life just because you don't like me seeing me doing well. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, who are you? Who are you praying medic? Do you get to decide when people live or fucking die? Like, what the fuck?
Oh man. Yeah, freaking praying. By the way, praying medic is back on Twitter.
Yeah, I know he was back on Twitter. One of those accounts was a good one of the fake accounts is a good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Good friend. A couple of them are good friends of mine actually, and it's just been funny just like seeing that group because literally like it's like you show people that in one way they think that like they're so good at finding this information, but it only takes a second to completely disrupt this thing. And when you look at what these guys are doing, they're doing a very unsuccessful version of what I did. Like, okay, so these guys have taken my Twitter account and created fake Twitter accounts to harass and impersonate me. They're
Yep.
still out there. Go look them up. Who do you think's behind those things? It's not anybody that hates me because I don't have anybody that hates me that much. Really? Like, there's people that like me a lot, and then I have like 10 people that apparently just hate me, right?
Yeah.
And we know the 10 people that we're talking about right now. QAnon people don't hate me this much. QAnon people don't dox me. QAnon people don't even talk to me. They'll either block me or just be like, fuck you, shill. But they never, ever try to bat. They never do any of the stuff that these guys do. And that should actually tell you something. Because for all of the faults in that community,
Mm-hmm.
at least that's a community of upstanding people that know where the line is supposed to be. And they do not cross it. But the thing is, these people, they don't know where the line is. And they're more than willing to cross it and then turn around and say, oh, I'm the victim.
Oh, well, here, I'm going to show off a couple of these. I did this in another stream, but these are some new people in here who might not know about this, so I decided to pull them up real quick. But
Ooh, the North Bay Entertainment stuff.
yes,
Ooh.
yes, and there's actual audio clips and voicemail threats between him and a man that he worked with. Literally, it's freaking craziness, man. Let's see. Oh, can't do that one. Let's see. Audio clip.
Well, thanks, Mike from Halifax. I know when he accused me of being a pedo, that's when I was just like,
I'm sickened by the whole
fuck
thing.
you, dude.
It's a 72-hour meltdown, but listen to me, all right? And please listen. I did not do anything with Sandra.
It's like 3 minutes till it turns to be on my birthday.
She said,
And like I said before, this is what I'm doing, but I feel great about it because at least, something's getting out there. Like I know when Jib comes on here, he's gonna have a whole wild cockamamie story that him and the boys planned up, and honestly, I'm gonna be laughing the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Probably. And then I'll probably be sick because they get into such nastiness. But I think overall, it'll probably be the biggest mistake he ever made in his life.
Dude, like all the tactics that he uses are actually in these documents right here. Like, if you guys see my screen, it says documents. Like, is Thomas Schoenberger a pathological liar? Like, these are compiled emails between him and his business partners where he was literally trying to scam people out of money and trying to scam his way out of being held accountable. All
Yeah,
right.
trying to canvas by being held accountable for paying all these artists that he never paid.
Yes. And it's the most ridiculous thing. And I was really surprised when I came across all this stuff because, from my knowledge, like nobody actually did the whole Internet Archive thing until I actually pulled it up and was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, the hell?"
I knew about all this stuff
No.
like in August, probably last year, and I didn't put any of that shit, or I didn't really put any of that shit up because I didn't want that fucking drama. If you could understand that.
Oh, I can totally understand that. The drama was already brought to me when I brought it up, and I've learned very quickly that the man can't really do anything to me, so there's no reason to be afraid and or, oh, Thomas is coming after my booty hole, yeah. But there's a lot of information on this character that goes by the name Thomas. If his name is actually Thomas Schoenberger, I haven't seen his ID. I don't know if it's just him acting, role-playing a person, and it's actually some fat slob behind a computer, which, who knows? He doesn't look like himself with his glasses on in the Treach interview. I mean, I posted that today. That was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah.
I have a picture of him with his shirt off, but I'm not gonna post it.
That would be
It's
mean. That would be very
it's awful.
mean. Let me see. I said remember, and then I posted it to you, I think. Let's see.
Yes. Oh, and hello, Lauren Zero Infinity. Long time no see.
I will find it. Tweets and replies. I tweeted a lot after this shit happened. Like, I was rolling because of this stuff. And then how quickly he shifted gears is just so hilarious to me. There it is, guys. I give you Thomas Schoenberger. I mean...
Thomas Schoenberger.
I mean, I think his last name should be, without the Schoen, it should just be Burger. Give the guy a burger.
He really loves hamburgers.
Yes.
His favorite kind of food seems to be to eat is buffets. When we were in Texas, we ate at the same buffet probably like almost every day.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Defango.
Oh yes, thank you. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes. How old are you? 22?
I'm 33.
33.
33. I'm a year older than you.
Yeah. August
Right,
is
I'm
mine.
Jesus. I'm them Jesus years, bro. And I feel just like him right now.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks for helping me bear that cross, homie.
Man,
Like,
this whole shit it's crazy. So you started the puzzle how many years ago would it have been?
what?
The actual puzzle.
Cicada puzzle?
Yeah. How long ago did you actually start this? Because my first interaction with you was on the Facebook group, and me and you were at ends for some reason or another. I don't even remember why. But
Oh man, it was like 2013 was the first time I interacted with it, and that was mostly the RRC. I didn't get into the Facebook group until like 2015, and then even then, like everybody was just fucking like I'm not gonna say everybody was dicks. I was just like I was just reading everything and how people were interacting with each other, and I just was like, I don't want to talk about this with these fucking guys about this shit because they seem fucking ridiculous. So that's why, like, I didn't even start solving the cicada puzzle until after I finished doing Tangri because somebody sent me a video from this guy named Bob Creamer, who I later found out was just another alternative account from Thomas. And that's how he basically started off his steal, his cicada steal. That's what we're going to call it this year.
Yeah.
So, like, he tried to do the steal in 2015, failed. Then he did the 2016 thing, which was, I think, Pi Moby, which is actually a little bit successful, but a lot of people knew that it wasn't cicada. and then there was the 2017 thing, which was the much more well executed.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is it didn't have the PGP key, so like that's why I was trying to figure out who and if these guys were actually like who they said they were. And through like me and Thomas and going to repair my computer into a lot, I was able to ascertain it was about sometime in 2014 that Thomas actually got into the puzzle and started talking to it. And there is evidence on Linda's computer of some of the creationary materials from Liber Primus, so the book or whatever. And if you've ever talked to Brother Box doesn't know and has still been pretty direct on saying that he doesn't think that Liber Primus is actually real cicada. Like
Yes.
they're still kind of in this moment where it was stolen in this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just basically let Brother Box be an asshole to me because I was just like, this guy's not going to understand what I'm trying to do here. He's just like, well, why are you trying to solve it and giving it any time in the beginning of it? And I'm like, number one, because it's interesting. And number two, I'm going to show you what you should have done and how you should have done it. And basically show you that, you're so great at all this other stuff, but there's still people that are much better than you at things. And, like I find this all the time in my life. I see it on YouTube, like I feel like I'm a pretty great streamer, but, like guys like Jamie Deluxe have twice as many followers as me. And I think the only reason is because he doesn't have to deal with this stuff as much. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason I bring him up is because he's getting attacked by the same group of people.
Yeah, I've seen what Jamie Deluxe is going through, and literally they tried to pass it off on me, you, Lestat, and so many other people, and I didn't even know who Jamie Deluxe was, to be honest, before Thomas started posting about him, saying, "Oh, it's these guys," and I'm like, "Who is this guy? Who is he?" Didn't know. But I saw today that he's having some trouble with some crazy alcoholic woman who's talking about his children and stuff. And I kind of feel for him because that right there doesn't seem like it'd be a fun thing at all to deal with.
It's the same alcoholic woman that's going after Jack Posobiec for
Mm-hmm.
Pizzagate related stuff, and this same woman is also associated to a bunch of accounts that are related to none other than our same group of motherfuckers. And why would they be attacking Posobiec?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it because Posobiec has been exposing the QAnon thing, and Mr. QAnon Cyborg, Trumpets and War, wants
Nope.
to keep his thing alive? I mean,
Nope.
scroll down on this account
Here,
a little
let's
bit.
let's scroll down. All right.
Like, go really far back and see what this guy was saying in the beginning, because if you go down and look at some of the stuff that he says, you're going to start seeing that, like, not only is this a pattern,
Mm-hmm.
like all these different accounts he's been using to basically like try to build up half of his lives, like everything basically. So, and it's kind of strange to think about it. Just go farther, go like,
Yeah.
almost a year, try to go a year back.
Come on, come on. It's slow.
I mean, I just saw something with Steve Outram on there too. Like, you remember Steve Outram?
Yep. Oh, I never checked out his older stuff that he posted.
Yeah, if you go look at his older stuff, you can just see that there's so much other shit that he was working on.
Epstein.
Alan Dershowitz, he's talking about 14-year-old girls. He's
Yep.
got Emperor Truth in there. There's all the stuff with Mind Inspired. It
Oh,
never
I
changes.
never even knew that he was utilizing this account to share my statuses, because he didn't actually retweet it. He freaking posted the links. So he used
Mhm.
me as a little piece in this little game. That's interesting.
Yep, he was using you. He was, look at right there. But did you see the tweet with Praying Medic on it?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think, what's it called? Who do you think Praying Medic and all the 8chan people got QAnon from?
Him.
They got it from, they got it from him.
No,
How do you think they found out about it? How do you think they even got the little group together and started doing all this shit?
you most
It's
likely
because of
came up
him.
with the idea and he took it from you and ran with it, if I would think.
Well, no, I came up with it and I gave him a little bit. And, that's what phase 2 was. Is to get this
That's
guy caught up, and it was a whole group of little miscreants.
No, that is actually really, really fascinating because when QAnon started coming through and coming to fruition in social media, like I had some friends that got interested in it, and I looked into it, and I was like, dude, this is bullshit. This is just, it's stupid. What the fuck? And that would be really interesting if he was one of the main pushers, and I came across him because I've honestly did not like QAnon whatsoever.
Look at this. All right here.
Yeah,
All Q shit.
QAnon. Yep, and then he has the Bernie Sanders one where he acts like a socialist, everything like that, and pushes Bernie stuff. And
Oh, if you go to his Steven account that I bought for him or whatever, and then he never changed the password for, I've been keeping a list of all of his alt accounts.
oh,
And I'm
thank
gonna
you.
add I'm gonna add all the tweets, every single tweet, image, as well as archived on every single one of them. So like I've been keeping track of all of his stuff
Well, that would be a very
on
nice
his own
feat.
account.
Holy crap, man.
All the way to 2016, February.
This guy's been doing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Now, my question is how many accounts does he have that we don't know about?
He's got at least 100.
He has nothing but time, obviously, on his hands. You know, I would never
Oh
put
yeah.
this much time into something. Unless it was like some sort of like relationship or something like that, then yeah. Hell yeah, I'd put all my time into it. But no, something like this, no. Unless he was really hoping for a big payout, which I think that big payout
He
just kind of went
was.
bye-bye with all this
It went
bullshit.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's why this is all happening. It's
No.
because he lost his Sony deal.
Well,
Because of me. It's because he doesn't know that Sony made a deal with somebody else. Me. Or maybe he does know that, and that's why he's so pissed. I don't know.
yeah, could be. Who knows, man? Freaking. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to come out somehow and sometime, you know?
I think it just did.
And truth over lies. Let's see, you said something a little earlier. Why can't I let this stuff, leave this stuff alone? I left it alone, and honestly, I wanted to get Defango on the line, create a stream, get his side, and be like, you know something, good job, because we all were being threatened with this Lieutenant Stokes, and that's where we're all tied in, is that he was trying to utilize fear to get us offline, and also to stop us from talking to each other. You know, he would say stuff about Lieutenant Stokes if I talked to Lestat, Defango, anything like that. So I figured this would actually be a good show to have, considering my past videos.
No, I think it was very important that we had to talk. I've
No.
made it I haven't talked to you in the past because specifically, I was like, I just want to leave this stuff alone. But I'm kind of glad now because it's like reconnecting or whatever. Because like I feel like there's a lot of good that can become of this thing because the biggest issue with the whole cicada thing lately has just been that, this guy ruined it.
Yeah, he did.
Like that's my opinion.
No,
He
I
ruined
agree.
it.
I agree. Like, when I was running that group that on Facebook, it was active as hell. I had people thinking in different ways that they didn't even think that they could think. You know, I was sharing books, I was teaching people, and I mean, we were breaking records in the analytics on Facebook for how many posts, likes, everything like that. And literally, all this stuff and drama comes in and seeps into the group, and I ended up having to archive the group so he would not gain control of it. You know, I made sure to kick all admins out besides myself and a couple trusted people that I had, and I archived it. And I was like, no, you're not going to use the group that I've worked with for a year for bad things. You're not going to pull and pick someone and take their money and harm them like you've targeted and harmed me and many other people. That's why he
That's
got
what we're
pissed
doing
off.
right now.
You know?
Yeah, he's pissed off because he's a criminal.
Yeah.
Why do you think he likes Cicada? Because he likes his privacy, because he doesn't want to be in the light. Roaches don't like the light, right?
No, they don't. They scurry into the darkness as soon as you hit that light switch. Bam. And we saw that today definitely on Twitter, because this QAnon Cyborg account, as you can see, he's talking shit right here about me. Ooh, you know, I was such a good-looking kid when I was 17, man. God.
And that's that hasn't tweeted for 4 hours is because 4 hours ago he doxed me and somebody else, and his account got 7 days.
Yeah. I noticed that there was a lot of tweets missing and everything. But this account right here started talking shit, but before he started talking shit, he blocked me. And that right there is a coward approach. Like, if you're going to say something, you say it so a person can see it. Like, if you're going to talk shit behind someone's back, like, Like, this right here is, if I was to talk shit right now, I'm face to face with people because I'm using my face, obviously. You know, the only thing I have to say to Thomas, though, is, Thomas, you're 58 years old. You're a schmuck. That's it, man. You're a schmuck. You know, you lie, you cheat, you steal. And I think that, honestly, what I said in the past before we got into all this stuff, I told you that don't attack Lestat, don't attack anyone. I think you need to go meditate in the desert, like you said that you love to do. And you need to center yourself and find yourself again. Because this ain't playing out very well. You know, I've noticed that your subscriber base has been dropping. I've noticed that you haven't been putting time in your music. I've noticed so many different things that this is consuming you. And if this is consuming you that badly, then it's not going to end very well. And then guess what? Your little prophecy you said about me didn't happen. But my prophecy that I said about you, which I'm going to say this right now, you remember what I said to you. It will happen. It definitely will happen. You know, you're going to be lost alone and you're not going to have any friends. Because people are going to see you for the horrible man that you are. And the horrible things that you've been doing. Because, I mean, all the stuff's out there. And there's no taking it back. Because I know I'm not going to take back anything. And anything you throw at me, you don't have any proof about. And you can't prove anything. But I can prove everything about you. It's totally fine.
He's gonna try to QAnon you.
Yeah, hey, let him QAnon me. It's fine. Like, I do not worry about that type of stuff. You know, the only people that really affect me in my life are the people that I freaking know. You know, this is a person that I don't know. I could care less about. You know, if tomorrow I found out that he passed away or something, would I be sad? Yes, I would, because it would be loss of human life. But
No, I'm never sad when a demon dies.
hey, even demons deserve love sometimes, man, because demons can turn good sometimes. You know, who knows? He might redeem himself. I think that the good way of redeeming himself would probably be, like, getting the balls up to get on screen and camera and issuing an apology to every single person that's been hurt in this past 2 years. Whether or not it's Pavana, Jesse, you, me, Lestat, friggin' anyone that he's came out
Jerry.
and he's done run. Jerry, and heck, there's so many other people too. But that right there might at least get him a couple of friends. Because right now, it's not looking like he's going to be winning any internet popularity contests on social media. His posts are a ghost town, man. Like, if you look at me and your posts, we get like 4 or 5 hearts and everything, but he doesn't get any hearts whatsoever. Nobody throws love at him. It's like, what's the point? And anybody that does heart it is like this right here, Jib Camera. Hearted Powerful Primes is another co-stalker. No, Ezekiel, I haven't seen Ezekiel do anything.
Yeah, who liked it? Jib.
Yeah, Jib. Jib's the only one that liked it. I mean, Mindy doesn't
Fucking
even like
loser.
his shit, man. You know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Literally, it just doesn't make any sense to me why a grown-ass man would do this to himself, which, if you go on to his newest video on YouTube, literally, he states that he wants to destroy everything he built and all that good stuff in comments. You know, Diane pointed that out to me. It's looked like he's on a destruction path, which that's what I told him he was on before I ended up freaking going like hardcore against him, being like, no, you need to stop this shit. It's really bad when a 32 and a 33-year-old are trying to be like, hey man, stop this. And dude, you're double our age.
Would you think this guy's gonna try to commit suicide again?
Yeah, it looks like he just wants attention, so who knows, man? Who knows? Like, it could be
I think I could get 5150.
Oh, could be, man. Freaking, this just blows my mind. Because if you told me, like our first conversation on Facebook, you told me to get smarter. I remember that. And if you would have told me all this stuff was going to play out like it did, I definitely wouldn't have believed you. You know, this stuff, you can't even make this shit up. I'm using one of Thomas's lines. It's...
That's what... I was gonna say, you can't make this shit up, because you're right. That's why it's going to a television show.
No. But Diane had a question for you, Defango.
Oh, she did. Let me see. I keep on looking at the channel on the TV and it keeps disconnecting. His privacy concerns. He quit Sophie and music. Did. Yeah. In my opinion, he committed suicide before because of his multiple car accidents and his alcoholism. He also, according to his Linda, his ex roommate or whatever, he had wrecked cars a couple of times. And I mean, honestly, you don't drink and drive all the time and wreck your car all the time unless you're trying to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Shit way of doing it, because you usually end up killing somebody else. But you know, this is all stuff that's on record and recorded or whatever for the guy. So you know, honestly, I was originally trying to help him. You know, honestly, after I met him, I knew what he was like. You know, I knew that he was a liar.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I sat down and shook his hand, I told him some shit and he just didn't believe me. But I was like, you know, the second that I touch your hand or whatever, I'm going to read everything. I'm reading everything about you. Everything you've ever done, everything. And it's just all coming in one little second. That's why I like touching people.
Oh.
Because I get what you're saying. And now he was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. But, you know, it's like, I got the bad vibe when I got onto him. And I was like, you know, there's a chance that this guy could be good. And for a while there, he made it seem like he was actually trying to change stuff. But you know what? There was always that, you know, negativity that was, you know, abounding. And honestly, this could have gone a lot better. When we were doing the 2018 puzzle or whatever, when he, you know, forced me to do this, because if there wouldn't have been a puzzle if I didn't do this shit. You know, he made me make those puzzles, and then he was like, well, then you got to solve them now. And I'm just like, well, I'm only going to solve the ones that I made. I'm not going to solve the other ones because I don't want fucking people to get to the end real easy. It's like, what's the point of that? It's so stupid. And then he turns it into oh, you didn't make any of this shit. And I'm just like, what? Like I fucking was in a hotel room for a fucking month. I spent a whole fucking month doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I wasn't the only one that was doing it. You know, Kryptos is working on shit too, and you know what? He put in way more work than anybody else did on any of this shit.
Mhm.
And I think he's the one that got screwed over and the biggest in all of this shit. Because, you know, like I fucked him over like without thinking because exposing Thomas is because, you know, like I basically take everything that he's done. He was the only person that actually had some legitimacy in the cicada respect. And, you know, he kind of lost it. You know, I chopped off his arms. And, you know, like that's my bad. You know, like I fucked that guy over
'Tis
on that
just a
respect.
flesh
You know?
wound.
Yeah, it's just a flesh wound. But that's the thing is, what do we do now? You know, like here we are going in the future. There's no puzzles. You know, Thomas used to talk about the puzzle culture and how it was so great and it was getting better. Well, the puzzle culture is leaving him behind.
Mhm.
I mean, there hasn't been any puzzles that have been really interesting since the Red Triangle thing. And, you know, I talked to one of the creators of that shit. And you know what? Whatever happened in that situation happened. But
Mhm.
the thing is, you know, like it was excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like it was exactly what the world was looking for. You know, it had all the right things, meaning, you know, it was spooky, it was weird, it was hard, and it was interesting,
Yes.
right? It's not like Cicada, or it's not like they were trying to make into Cicada, oh, it's going to be a TV show and it's going to be crazy, it's going to change the world. I mean, that's Hollywood magic, dude. Like Michael A. Levine, the guy that actually owns that spear that I found or whatever, the guy that I
Yep.
dropped it off to, you know,
Mhm.
on record. Like that guy. I mean, look at his past. This is the guy that wrote the Kit Kat jingle. Like, this guy is Hollywood. He doesn't
You're
get
right.
any more Hollywood than that. Loeb and Loeb, Thomas's lawyer for the fucking Sony thing.
Yep.
Hollywood, 100%. You know, like this guy's trying to take down the belly of the beast. No, he's not.
I don't think that the
This guy's
community wanted the TV show at all. That's the main thing that I've been hearing from most of the community. It's just because it got out what it was supposed to be about, and it would have portrayed the community in a very bad light, per se.
yeah, being about hunting pedophiles or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's what the story is. That's the French one, right?
Yep. And then there was one that was they were trying to make it seem like black hat hackers type deal and everything, kind of make it like ominous and everything. So it
Mhm.
just it didn't really mesh well with what I witnessed in the community, and I witnessed a lot in that group. And most of these people are just trying to escape from problems they have in their lives by utilizing their mind.
Yeah, it's just I was solving the puzzles because like I wasn't really happy at my job.
Yeah.
Like I was doing menial work tasks and making menial money when I could be designing digital currencies or making like cool shit. So I finally went through that situation, did what I had to do, and you know, like I realized that, you know, like because you know, hey, when I stopped working at Firesite, you know, they were like, well, you no longer work here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the door's open, and I was just like, you know, honestly, fuck you guys, I'm out. And it's funny because like I'm gonna go, you know, visit them, and they're just gonna be like, well, what are you up to? And I'm just gonna be like, I'm not even gonna tell you because you guys aren't even gonna believe me. And even then, you know, like with what's coming in the future, like I always remember the future. I know it's about to come out, and I know it's about to be happening in that space, and I have no problems because I'm gonna be like, yeah, this guy's gonna try to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be going after the actual black hat hackers that you're trying to find. You know, like I don't think he realizes that, you know, people see me for what I really am,
Mm-hmm.
and I show what I really am to people, and you know, like it's take it or leave it. And I mean, you could talk to Sherry. You know, she's like, you know, hey, he's not exactly, you know, a fucking bucket of sunshine all the time. You know, like I go through all kinds of mental shit too, having to deal with this, because sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're 33 years old, you're playing video games on the internet. But then the other side of me, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is fucking awesome, because your friends are out there working and doing all this shit, and you're doing exactly what you wanted to fucking do 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you're finally doing it. And you know what, it's not that, it doesn't pay that well, but you're gonna get there. And the only thing that
It's a life.
stops me, I think, is, yeah, but it's a the way these guys interact, the way these guys stalk and harass. Like, if I didn't have to deal with their shit and I could flourish, I think I would be much more popular and I would be able to do much more things. But I'm constantly having to put time into this situation that has given me some goods, but now has just completely turned itself into being a bad situation. So that's why I'm saying now I'm changing what I'm doing, like I'm just going to be doing what I'm doing. It's my birthday. And
Mm-hmm.
after today, this situation to me is over with. Like, they're going to keep doing what they're going to do. And I got everything that I need in order to say, suck my dick. Right? Like,
Yeah. And that's the best thing to do, man. I mean, you cut the head off the Hydra. Hopefully this bitch don't grow back. And even
no,
if it
that's the thing
does...
is, I didn't cut the head off. I just stabbed the Hydra through the heart with its own fucking spear.
Spear reference.
And now he's
Yeah.
just sitting there dying because he can grow the heads back all he wants. He can't grow back another heart.
Yeah,
His
true.
heart has been his heart is done. He's over with. And my head, or it's like my phone's about to die, so I
Yep.
think I'll probably just leave you here on that.
Alrighty, man. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and you have a very, very nice birthday. All right.
I will, man, and thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have to do this again sometime, man. It was cool hanging out.
Definitely. Well, I'll definitely want to have you come on the channel within like the next couple of days. I'll be back in my home area, and I'll be able to do more stuff then.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Just hit me up, and we can do something. All right.
All right, sounds great, man.
All right.
Well, thanks for your time today, bro.
Yep.
And much love to everybody out there.
Much love, man. All right, guys.
Except for you shitty people.
Hey, love them too, man, because they might need love.
Yeah, they get the shit love, though.
But thank you very much, guys, for coming and watching. Hopefully it was informational. And thank you very, very much, Lurkster. You guys have a very wonderful night, and this is where I'm going to end it. All right. Peace.